What's going on, guys? This is Matt Marinoff. I'm here with my friend, the protection specialist, Antonio Fratelloni, and he is working with a national life group. And
No, I'm not working with any company. I can't
now,
say names of companies. Not allowed to. I'm a
got it,
broker.
got it. He's a broker. He's a broker with yellow hair. Apparently, he thinks he's Macaulay Culkin, ladies and gentlemen. So I know Antonio now for a while, and obviously finding out a little bit more about the insurance side of business and finding out what benefits are available. Obviously, there's things that I've never thought about that he's, brought to my attention. So I'm curious to see what other individuals out there think about their planning for, what's going to happen in the next phase of their life. And they always shouldn't just worry about what's going to happen if, God forbid, something happens to them. They should worry about what happens if, God forbid, something happens to them and they're still here. Me, I tell my wife all the time, God forbid I stroke out, I'm in a wheelchair, push me down the fucking stairs. Anyway, without further ado, we've got the protection specialist, Anthony. Take it away, Antonio.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for having me on. Everybody else gets like a theme song and like music. You're like dancing and shit when they come on. So I'm like, all right, well, what's gonna
Well,
make people want to watch this boring ass tax guy or this insurance guy?
that's because they bring it.
They bring it. Okay, so you're saying I'm not. I'll beatbox right now, man. If you rap, I'll beatbox. I'll do it. I don't care.
I don't know if I'm really into doing stuff
Come
like
on,
that.
man. Make it happen, Captain.
No, go ahead. I think you can do it. I think your hair is throwing me off tonight.
All right, let's get into the tax shelters and the real estate and the insurance. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, so yeah, last time that we spoke, we did a live. We talked a lot about the living benefits and what we could do to protect the things that matter most to us today, not necessarily for when you pass away, but while you're alive, right?
Right.
And I think one of the most important things of being a real estate entrepreneur is not just having the ability to earn a lot of money, but making sure that you protect that asset, and that asset is you. So if you make $1 million this year and you can't keep any of it, then what good was it? So I'm going to actually dig a little bit into some of the charitable contribution plans that we offer, that we started talking about before. One of them being the 1031 exchange alternative. All right. So the first thing that we do, if you're a real estate entrepreneur, let's say you have a piece of property and you're going to sell it and do a 1031 exchange, right? Let's say your capital gain tax is $300,000, $400,000. You're doing a selling an apartment building, 8 to 10 units, whatever it is, and your gain is 1.4 million, 1.5. You got to pay $400,000 in taxes. So the first thing everybody runs to is going to do a 1031 exchange because we're kicking the can down the road, right? And we don't want to have to pay those taxes today. Some people don't realize that you have to pay not only the taxes on the gain, but you also have to pay, if you don't do a 1031 exchange, you have to pay all the appreciation, all the depreciation that you took over the years. So you're selling a property and you claimed $200,000, $300,000, you got to pay income tax on that, right? And then you have to pay the capital gain. So we do a 1031 exchange to kick the can down the road. But what if you're in a scenario where you don't want to do a like for like? What if you don't want to buy another piece of real estate? Or maybe you don't want to be a landlord anymore? Then what can you do? It's time to pay the piper at that point, right? You have to pay the taxes because they're due. So what we do is um, we create a platform for you to be able to quick deed that property into. Usually it's like an LLC, and we'll then, after we create the platform, donate 99% of those shares to a charity. So I'll stop there for a second. We're going to take the property. We're going to quick deed it into an LLC that we set up specifically to donate 99% of the shares to a charity. And you get to pick the charity. Why would I do that? Why would I donate 99% of my property to a charity? Well, you're not. You're donating 99% of your shares of that LLC. You're donating that to a charity. Woo, my horn is crooked. So the reason that we do that is because now, when you sell the property, that charity is not going to have to pay any tax. You keep that 1% controlling member. You're the 1% managing member, and the other shares are just shares. So that liability is transferred over to the charity at that point, and they don't pay taxes. So you do have to pay at least 1% of that gain. So you're paying 1% of that gain. Unless you want to take management fees as the managing director, you could take 5 or 6% as managing fees. But if you do that, then you have to pay the tax on that percentage, and it basically at that point just becomes another deferred comp plan, and we don't want that. We want to eliminate the taxes, not defer them at this point. So the next step in doing this specific process would be to not only give the charity the asset to put on their sheet, on their spreadsheet, and for them to benefit. How are you going to benefit? How are you going to get your money out? Is usually the next question people ask me. So the way that you get your money out is by taking loans. You're able to take loans tax free.